Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to my podcast. This is why I'm not invited. It's me, Nova Nebula. Every time I open my mouth, all of a sudden, nobody wants to make eye contact. But here you are, and thank you for joining me. I missed last week, and the reason why is because Top Drop. I'm definitely going to be talking about Top Drop today because it came for me like I owed it money just out of nowhere. I thought I was fine. I honestly thought that everything was good, and then bam, right? Just down. Physically drained, emotionally drained. My chemical brain, my all of my chemicals in my brain were just fucked up, right? And it actually took me a few days to recover. So I decided to make this week's episode about Top Drop and basically talking about what it is, how it hits, how it hurts, and why. I don't know about others, but for my experience, having Top Drop, it literally hijacks your brain, your emotions, your body. But we survive it, and here we are. So thank you for tuning in. Let's start from the beginning. I had an amazing scene last week. Absolutely amazing. Phenomenal, right? Met up with somebody new. We had actually talked about doing a scene together for I think at least a week or two. And the way that my life has been going, it's just been on overdrive. I have been running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I was actually talking to a friend of mine, and she sat down and said, I don't know who you've convinced to give you more hours in the day, but you have more hours in the day than the rest of us because all you ever do is go and keep running, and I don't know how you're doing it. It made me feel great when she told me that, but it also made me realize that, yeah, definitely need a break. So I decided to indulge myself and have a scene with somebody. I had them come to the venue. Again, we had kind of just been playing the hit or miss. I was not feeling my best the couple of times that they had wanted to play, but I really wanted to have an opportunity to play with somebody new. They're very friendly, super cute, love their vibe. They hit all of the social cues that I like in having a bottom to play with. Super cute dress up outfit. It's a whole thing. The whole vibe was there for me, and I was really looking forward to having this scene, and we finally did it, and it was great. I usually only play with somebody for the first time about, I'll say, 15, 20 minutes. And the reason for this is because I am a very heavy-handed sadist. I feel like when I tell people that, they think that I'm not necessarily truthful, or they're not really sure, because I'm very sure and confident that other people have said, oh, I'm heavy-handed. I do this. I insert this thing here. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. So when you're playing with somebody new, it's definitely a learning curve. You have to take your time. Negotiation is one of the biggest things that takes up most of the time before we even start playing, because you have to talk about all those anatomical checkpoints. You have to talk about the emotional check-ins. I'm not sure if we talked about negotiation in that way, but I can definitely pin it for later. Anyways, scene was great. I had only intended for playing for about 15, 20 minutes, but I had such a great time. It was so fun. It felt so good to be in that top space and to play with this person. And the sub that I was playing with, the bottom, absolutely loved it. I kid you not. I literally looked at the clock and it had been at least an hour. So I literally startled myself because I was like, we were only supposed to be here for like 20 minutes. They're fine. I'm fine. Aftercare, all of the things. And then the next day, so for me, everybody's different. Every top is different. Every caregiver is different. Top Drop doesn't just come immediately for me personally. it takes a couple of days. So Sunday comes, doing fine. Monday comes, everything's okay. Tuesday, I get the sniffles. And I'm like, let me drink some more water, eat some more protein, have some vitamins. And then Wednesday came. And let me tell you, ooh, I crashed. I crashed so hard. And I was at work when I crashed. It was insane. No amount of caffeine I consumed could help me get through that day. I literally felt like I was dragging myself just to get to lunch. Let's talk a little bit about Top Drop. Top Drop itself is basically like a system crash for dominance. And they experience this after intense power exchange, intense scenes. I myself, again, I love impact, so I do really heavy impact play. And this top drop, it consists of chemical, physical, and emotional events all at once. Basically, during the scene itself, all of the feel-good chemicals come out, right? Adrenaline. Ooh, that spikes. It's so good. Okay. Dopamine, right? For me, dopamine rewards the control that I have. Oxytocin then follows in. And basically, for me, euphoria. I enjoy being an impact top. I love hitting people consensually, of course. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel great. And that's where I get my euphoria from. So that high, that euphoria lasts for a couple of days. And then just as quick as it came on, it just shuts off. It's all gone. And when it leaves, you're exhausted. I'm exhausted. I am like physically tired. My immune system dropped. Again, my nose started like running. I started getting the sneezes and then I started getting cold. I literally had symptoms as if I'm going to get sick, like with the flu. At first, again, sniffles, my eyes like get a little watery. Then my body starts to hurt. My stomach gets a little weird. And then literally full on, like I'm sweating. I feel like I have a fever and I know I'm not sick. My stomach starts hurting and I feel like I want to vomit. It's a whole thing. Basically, the entire nervous system is screaming for repair. You get brain fog. Your body, oh God, I'm not even that old, but everything hurts. So again, during the scene, I was great. The party, I was great. The next couple of days, I was fine. And then, bam, biology came in and gave me a hard, unforgettable reality check to remind me where I really was. So, top drop basically affects everybody that is a dominant position, a service top position, even caregivers, right? It's really brutal with people that have or carry emotional weight. So event organizers, hosts, anchors, neurodivergent tops, right? Trauma-coded people. Anyone that is chronically stressed, these people tend to experience top drop even harder, right? I'm not trying to diminish anyone else's experience, and I'm not saying that other people experience it less, but when you're constantly stressed and overstimulated, your top drop lets you know that you are its bitch, right? Everyone that does topping will eventually have that top drop, right? And it can be foreign to them because I feel like top drop is not really something that we talk about. I remember my first time, right? And I didn't think I knew what was happening. I didn't think I had the education, or I don't think anyone ever really sat there and told me what it meant. And I'm not saying that I didn't see it, because I did see it. I would see my friends who also would top and like do heavy impact scenes. They would be great at the event. They would be great the next day. We would go for lunch. We would hang out. And then kind of like midweek, they would go quiet. They would ghost. And I remember like, hey, how are you? How are you feeling? And they would like isolate and just be like, I'm not feeling very well. Like my body hurts, my head hurts. And I think at the time I didn't understand what that really meant. I just thought, allergies, the flu, insert something here. I didn't actually understand that this was a physiological process that happened to dominance post scene. I definitely have gotten smarter. I've definitely learned more about myself while being in the scene. And now I have a phrase and an understanding of what I am personally going through and what my body is going through after a scene. And, at first in the beginning, I felt like I was going to die. I literally thought I was going to die because out of nowhere, boom, you get hit by that truck. I didn't know how to care for myself in the beginning. I didn't really have anybody to talk to in terms of like understanding this either, which caused me to have more confusion because, again, in my case, in my scenario, when I have top drop, it feels like the flu. I literally feel like it's flu symptoms. So when I was starting into the scene and doing all of these scenes, I just thought that maybe I caught a bug because I went to an event, right? Unfortunately, there are assholes that go out to events that are sick and, germs are a thing. I didn't realize that this was a direct cause from me topping somebody. So now that I have more of an understanding about what top drop is, as I've become more of a seasoned player, I am very aware of my personal needs and essentially how to take care of myself. And I think that's really important for everybody to learn. If you don't know how to take care of yourself post top drop, I definitely recommend some self-reflection. For me, my first top drop, again, genuinely felt like I was having the flu. I had body pains and body aches and everything hurt. And I was overstimulated in every single way possible. It was disgusting, but I got through it. And the more I got into the scene, I realized that, hey, this is something that's happening whether you like it or not. Chemically, top drop is fascinating, but it's also a cruel bitch. Adrenaline drives focus and control during play, so you are locked in. I am in the zone. I am there, right? Dopamine rewards me for my competence and my connection to that sub, to my bottom. Oxytocin floods my system with hormones and I feel so good. But when it's gone, it's empty. And all that's left there is cortisone. My serotonin crashes and my nervous system is like, what is happening? Where are we? Which way is up? I basically go from like this superhuman, like, hero persona to just being a puddle, just a puddle within days. And I had to realize that this is actually a chemical thing. And this helped me understand myself better, which again is really important. Because at first, I thought that I was an issue. I thought that maybe I did something wrong, or I didn't do something right, or the other person didn't have a good time. And it made me have a lot of internal guilt. And potentially, I guess, maybe shame. I don't want to say that I felt shame, but I felt guilty, like I had done something wrong, but I couldn't understand what I did, what I could have done wrong. It was weird. It's weird. But as I move forward again, now I have the understanding as to what's actually happening. Physically, let me tell you, everything hurts, right? My wrists hurt, my hands hurt, my fingers hurt, right? I have dry mouth. My stimulation core is literally just haywire. I cannot stand the clothes on my back. I am very aware of the shoes on my feet. It's everything. Sounds are too loud. The light is too bright. I want to be alone. Even in the shower, I feel like I'm just covered in just molasses. And with somebody who has major texture issues, let me let you know, that actually made me spiral even more. So I'm over here having a freaking meltdown because I'm in the shower and the water hurts. It was crazy. One of the things that I feel I was not really prepared for having a top drop was the emotional aspect. I do my best, but emotionally, for me, top drop is devastating. It's not as bad as it was when I didn't know more about myself, but I literally cried during a yogurt commercial. Crazy, right? I'm more irritable. I am not so social, which is not like me. I'm a very social person, but I don't want to be around people. I don't want to have to talk more than I have to. I just want to go do my job, go back to bed. I want to eat, right? Crawl into a little soft space, wrap myself up in blankets, and just not really exist. It's not a me problem per se. It's the biology. The biology of all of this is now asserting control and reminding me what I need to think about. My nervous system basically has been holding intense energy and regulating a whole bunch of other emotions. For me, an emotional aspect of top drop is just releasing everything, and it's messy. I hate being messy, but with top drop, it's unavoidable. And in this situation, it's necessary for me to be able to face whatever emotional turmoil or whatever trauma I'm going through, because it's going to help me get better. I was in a coma a few years ago. I don't know if you know this. Some of you do, because I obviously talk to you in person. But I'm definitely a traumatic brain injury patient. It doesn't seem like it because I don't shut the fuck up, right? If you actually talk to me, I'm very fast. I talk really quickly. It's a whole thing. But my top drops tend to cause my traumatic brain injury issues to be even worse. So I have brain fog. I repeat myself a lot. I stutter uncontrollably, and it's very apparent to everybody. They're like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I just don't feel well." I cannot tell my work wife what the fuck is happening on the weekend. Okay, I can't tell her, "Yeah, I did this amazing impact scene where I beat the shit out of somebody with whips and paddles, consensually, of course, and they loved it." Do you know how quick I would get pulled into HR? Anyways, I do not have the ability to share my weekends with other people in my everyday life. So when I'm having these physical symptoms, it's more of the just, yeah, no, I'm not feeling well. I'm tired. I didn't sleep very well. But, it's obvious when I'm sitting there at my desk, just kind of staring off into nothing. At this point, your brain, it prioritizes survival over productivity. And this can be disorienting, okay? I questioned myself once, hey, is this going to happen every single time? And if it is going to happen every single time, am I willing to still top people? Am I willing to still do long scenes with people? I think I questioned myself. And the reason for this, it's not because of the physical effects. At this time in my life, if I sleep crooked, bruh, I literally have like a crooked neck or like a kinked muscle for like 2 weeks. It's the emotional aspect of top drop that really puts me on my ass. But I took a step back. I looked at myself, and this is something that I really enjoy. And patience was a thing for me. I learned in being a dominant, in being a service top, that one, I love it. I don't ever want to stop doing it. But two, it actually helped me become more patient with myself. I learned to give myself more grace. I learned to be more patient with my body. And realistically, I realized that my nervous system had to go through these things. And as emotional, as painful as it could be for me, it's worth it because it makes me a better person when I'm done. Kink, for me, this amplifies top drop because the stakes are high. Intimacy, vulnerability, This all creates extreme energy, and it's great. It's a social labor. It's boundary management and conflict resolution and emotional regulation. And Top Drop lets us know that, hey, there's a lot going on. Our system is overloading. Even the most experienced dominants have Top Drop, and they collapse afterwards. I remember when I was younger at different areas and like different clubs that sometimes I would see people sobbing on the aftercare couches, in the aftercare corners, and I never really knew what that was. I only thought that subs had subspace, right? And then as I got more involved in the scene, I realized this goes both ways. Now, for some people, it's immediate. Top drop happens after the scene or later on that night, but for others, it takes a while. Timing is unpredictable. Immediate top drop happens, again, for some people, as soon as the moment is over, as soon as the scene ends. Delayed top drops, that can happen hours later or days. Again, for me, I am going to drop 3 days after a scene. And then I'm going to be in a spiral for probably about 3 to 5 days, depending on how good it was. I have left scenes, I have left clubs and venues feeling great. I'm hanging out. I'm super social. I'm still wanting to go out and party. Let's go dance. Let's go play video games, right? Let's go bowling. And then on the way to work on a Tuesday morning, I freak out because I miss my turn and then I'm sobbing in my parking lot at my job. Okay. Baseline stress, fatigue, and emotional load, they basically decide when your nervous system is going to unravel. And basically, you have to accept the unpredictability of it until you learn yourself more. Disassociation is common, unfortunately, and watching yourself, sometimes it can make you feel foreign, like you're a ghost, but you're in your own body. I zone out, right? This is normal. These are actually protective mechanisms. One of the biggest things that everyone should learn are box breathing and grounding techniques. So you can, inhale for 4 seconds through your nose and then hold it for, 2 seconds, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds. Grounding techniques are like putting your feet flat on the floor, sitting up straight, listing objects that you can see and objects that you can hear, and basically being very intentional about being aware of your surroundings, understanding where you are, taking a minute to just breathe, reset your nervous system, and recognizing that this is normal and not to be more panicked by it. Anxiety also. Hello, my dear friend. Yes, I also have CPTSD, and I am anxious. I am super, super anxious, and I want you all to know, anxiety makes top drop even worse. My heart's already racing, right? Now my thoughts are racing. I've never hyperventilated, and I'm very grateful for that, but I have definitely seen other people hyperventilate, and it's kind of gross because I really want to know, hey, do I have to call an ambulance? Are we doing a 911 here? What's the plan? I probably seen it insensitive, and I didn't mean to seem insensitive, but have you ever seen someone hyperventilate? Because it's not fun. It's scary. That when people start changing colors, I get scared. Okay. And so the reason why I freak out is because of germs. I know CPR certified, all that good stuff. Every time I see someone turn from their regular skin tone to shades of purple, I'm like, fuck, I have to do CPR. I have to put my lips on the stranger. Where have they been? When were they tested last? Anyways, hydration, water, food. I know we cannot isolate ourselves and lock ourselves up in rooms to have low stimulation, but doing the best that you can. Sleep. Sleep helps so much. As a top, you need to define and understand you are responsible for creating your own aftercare regimen. What are the things that make you feel good? I have this really big plush blanket and it never leaves my house. It's literally my blankie. I don't care what anyone says, I'll fucking fight you. I have a blankie and I love it. I hand wash it. I love it. It's super soft to touch. I have very specific plush blankets. Whenever I am having a top drop, I will literally surround myself with plush blankets and just lay there. I'll have a huge thing of water right next to me, so I literally have all my hydration covered. I will watch anime. I binge anime, obviously. For those of you who know me, I am an anime connoisseur. But having all of these things are part of my aftercare. I will lay in my room. I'll have like relaxed music on if I have music at all. I'll have snacks, lots of food, lots of little food breaks, because for me, having this type of aftercare is vital for me to survive the top drop. Also, presents, right? I have friends that I can literally just cat with, and I say that in the most honest form of the word. I have a friend that comes over and gets to the house, greet each other. We both get like water and we watch TV. She sits on one side of the couch and I sit on the other, and we don't say anything. We literally will drink water, have a snack, make food, and watch TV and just be around each other for hours, just silently. Presence itself, that's care. And I feel like it's really important to have somebody to be present with you in the moment without saying anything, because sometimes you can't have that conversation because everything sucks. I have met a woman recently, and I didn't realize how aware she is of my stress. And maybe it's not her. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just so fucking stressed out and high strung and just running without breathing or blinking. But there's moments when she says, "Hey, you seem stressed. Would you like some water? Have you eaten recently?" And I like having those little reminders, because if this person can outwardly see how stressed I am and give me the little reminders, that lets me take time to stop, pause, reflect on myself, and do those grounding techniques so that way I can make sure I'm fine. Whether you want to admit it or not, everybody needs a support system. Everybody needs support in a variety of ways, shapes, people. Not asking for help, this is dangerous. Pride, persona, and reputation doesn't matter. When your nervous system decides to collapse, you're going down, okay? You need to be okay with asking for 5 minutes of quiet or 5 minutes of presence, because this is your self-preservation. The very first time that I finally felt comfortable to allow somebody to hold space for me, it was like this strange relief. It was such a foreign concept to me to have this, but then I realized when I got the presence that I needed, a weight was lifted off of my shoulders, and I felt so good. I felt so comforted, and I felt so free, and my nervous system was like, "See, we're not dying. You're okay, bitch. Drink water." Aftercare providers, they must be safe, sober, and attentive. It doesn't have to be your scene partner. I mean, realistically, that should be a part of the aftercare, and you should definitely be offering aftercare with your person. The person that I played with last week, we don't see each other. We don't live near each other. I had made a post saying that I was having a top drop, and this amazing bottom reached out to me and was like, "I cannot be there for you. Are you okay? Have you had food? Like, did you have water? I can maybe see if I can be there later. Do you have support at home?" And it was so nice for this bottom that I've played with once and only known for a very short period of time to reach out and check in on me. It meant a lot. As a neurodivergent top, aka ADHD, among other things, I feel like this makes me crash out even more. I don't know what it is, peer reviewed, but not officially diagnosed. I have horrible sensory issues, cannot help myself. When I'm in top drop, again, everything sucks. And when I'm in top drop, everything is so much worse, and I tend to have more volatile reactions. And I am very aware of this. So I really need to make sure that I have my own boundaries. You, as a top, must set your boundaries. I know we're supposed to be invincible and we're supposed to be all of these things that everyone portrays us as, but boundaries are a lifesaver. You must have boundaries for yourself to prevent yourself from basically a systematic failure. Limit your scenes, reschedule things, tell people you're unavailable, right? Be like, hey, I need the rest of the night off. I don't feel like this. I want to go home. I'm unavailable. That's okay. Those are boundaries. Some people think like they have to be present for everybody at all times. If you try to live that way, you're literally going to burn out. So you need to have boundaries that you can communicate with others. And you should be around people who respect those boundaries, because by doing this, it protects you. It protects your nervous system, and it allows you to basically rest and recover. Normalize boundaries as a skill. When you have bottoms, definitely talk to them about your expectations. Let them know your boundaries. So it's normal, right? Again, this should be a part of the negotiations before play. Aftercare should be a part of negotiation, because you have to figure out how to take care of each other. No one should ever question your boundaries. No one should, exacerbate anything or like pass judgment because you want to be left alone. If you have people that are around you that are like that, those are not your people. Post-drop anger, this is a common thing, right? Irritability, right? Yes, I understand that the nervous system is fried. I understand sensory overload. I get it, right? You still have to be aware of your actions. Just because you have a migraine does not mean that you can snap and lash out at everybody else. We're all adults here. We have to understand our feelings, and we have to understand that no one else should be basically, lashed out at because of you having a bad day. So that's one of the things I want to talk about too. Don't freak out on other people because you're having a top drop. Again, understand your emotions, know where you're at, and communicate, hey, I need some space. I need some quiet time. I need to be unavailable from this time to this time. Can we talk about this later? Because that's going to make everything better. When you know that you're freaking out, water, right? Hydration, okay? It's much easier to manage your own emotions instead of lashing out at the people that you care about, because then sometimes things that are said, they're not going to be unheard, and apologies aren't always going to fix friendships. You, as a top, are going to be in a raw physical, emotional, and chemical state. We don't need to add any more stress onto this. So learning to manage your emotions and, again, setting those strict boundaries for yourself, this is going to prevent further emotional strain and emotional trauma. Know what you like. I am diabetic. I'm type 2. I have snacks, right? Water, snacks, okay? After a scene, if I know I'm going to have a scene, I will have a very heavy dinner. I usually party at night. I usually do stuff at my venue late at night. So if I know I'm going to scene with somebody or multiple people in that night, I will have a super protein heavy meal. I'll have lots of water all day because I know I'm going to be burning a lot of energy, right? So have your favorite food, have your favorite drinks, setting things up, putting everyone on a schedule. I know you don't want to hear it, right? But come closer, come closer. Therapy, motherfuckers. Yeah, get therapy, okay? BDSM is not an excuse to replace therapy. Yes, it does help us understand things and go through things, but it's just a piece of the puzzle to self-care and love and self-awareness. Therapy, sleep, nutrition, scheduling, right? Script your aftercare. When you know that you're going to basically have a massive top drop after a scene, tell your bottom, hey, after the scene, I want to go outside and smoke a cigarette and need 10 minutes of nothing. Okay? Normalize language. I am experiencing top drop. I am in top drop right now, right? Invite the people around you to offer you their presence and to offer you the care that you need. No one's a mind reader. I hate that. You should have known. No, I am not going to know unless you tell me. I am not a mind reader. If I was a mind reader, do you know how easy my job would be? Do you know how easy it would be for me to go into my shift and just look at somebody and be like, oh, their leg is broken. Oh, their stomach hurts. Oh, they did something stupid, right? No one is a mind reader. You have to verbalize your needs. The language that you use will shape the culture around you. Tell your people, hey, this is what I'm going through. This is what I need. I would like you to help me by being present. If you're going through this chronically, again, therapy. We don't want to burn ourselves out more than we are, right? We don't want the trauma that we've been hiding to just suddenly flare up or, I don't know what this whole idea of suffering being a thing to just go through. Why? Life is too short to intentionally suffer. No one's getting a prize. You, sir, are not getting a prize for being miserable. Take an aspirin, okay? Take an aspirin. Learning grounding techniques. Ugh, I'm so dumb. I wish I would have learned grounding techniques 15 years ago. Lifesaver. Changes everything. Know what you want. Take a weighted blanket, right? Feet flat on the floor. Box breathing. Have a little snack kit. Emergency kit. Okay? Not everyone likes to be touched. I don't know, me. I do not want to cuddle after a scene. Don't want to do it. There was only one person I would cuddle with. It was just one person, and I would cuddle with her, and I probably will not cuddle with anyone else. I'm doing my best, you guys. I know some people, their aftercare is cuddling. I can't. I'm a feral street cat, bro. I do not want to be cuddled. I don't want to touch anybody. I will give my bottoms aftercare that they need. You get 5 to 10 minutes of cuddling before I start freaking out internally. And I promise you I'm doing my best. I'll give you water. I'll get you snacks. I'll get you blankets. Whatever you need, I'll get it for you. But I don't want to be in a prolonged cuddle session. Another thing that I want to bring up that's not necessarily top drop per se, but it can lead into the top drop being worse, is the lack of language and vernacular that the bottom brings into essentially a scene by not being honest and forthcoming about their emotional well-being. Hear me out. Again, not a mind reader. I do not know what you're going through. We also have to talk about negotiation, because negotiation isn't just asking if somebody has physical injuries or limitations. Definitely a big part of it, huge part of negotiation. One of the things that I've noticed a lot about negotiation, it's very rare for me to hear another dominant or submissive before a scene talking about the submissive's or the bottom's current emotional state. Let me let you know that is really, really important, because if you start sobbing during a scene with me and you didn't tell me what was happening, or you didn't tell me about your emotional state, and you have this breakdown, When my top drop hits, I am going to feel like an asshole. I am going to internalize all of my guilt, all of my fear. I'm going to, in this top drop spiral, think that I hurt you. Even though I understand we talked about boundaries and I've asked you about stuff, this is going to loop back to me and it's going to make me think that I crossed the line, I broke a boundary, or I did something to hurt you in such a way that you did not consent to. And when I have had that happen where I have asked a bottom, like, hey, how are you? What are your physical limitations? What do you want from a scene with me? How are you doing emotionally? Is there anything, you don't have to tell me in detail. Please don't tell me your trauma in detail. I do not want you to relive that trauma. I don't want you to get hurt, okay? I know it hurts. Trust me. I know it hurts. I do. I don't need you to relive your trauma to tell me things, but if you are not in a correct emotional mindset, don't have a scene with me, because if you start crying when I'm doing impact play and you didn't tell me about the trauma of your personal life that week and you needed me to help you vent, when my top drop comes in 3 days, I am going to feel guilty. And it's going to be an unnecessary guilt on top of the rest of my emotional stress, because now I'm worried that I really hurt you and that's going to haunt me. Even though I know that I didn't, for me, the lack of communication about my bottoms or my submissives' emotional well-being before a scene, that will fuck me up during my top drop. So please, 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 if you are a caregiver, anything, make sure, even by bottoms, please be honest with your emotional well-being. Let your top know what you're feeling and that you might burst out in tears in the scene. And it's not anything that the top did. It's just because you're having a really shitty week, right? Do that favor to yourself and do that favor to your top. That way everyone is aware of what's happening. I mean, give me the Cliff Notes version, okay? No one should be surprised. And I just want to say that. I've been surprised before and it fucking sucks. But nobody should be surprised. I'm sure there are a lot of different things that I may or may not have covered. But again, this is my own perspective. It's my own experience. And I'm still going through it. I definitely spiraled the other day. Not going to get into that, but everything's fine. I mean, water, food, sleep, my fuzzy blanket. If anyone wants to get extra bonus points, bring me a fuzzy plushy blanket. I will literally love you forever. Well, that's it for me. I just wanted to share my top drop with you and my missing of last week because of top drop. Again, I feel like I was hit by a car and then my emotions were amplified to 1,000,000 and all of those wonderful things. Top drop, man. It's brutal. It's disgustingly intimate. You become more intimate with yourself, whether you want to or not. But let me let you know, you survive. We move on. The world, it's still spinning. And the sun, it will come up tomorrow. This is just a time and a moment. And you're going to be okay. Care for yourself. Seriously. Especially when nobody is watching. I'll see you next week, if my nervous system doesn't freak out again.